Hello, beautiful friends. I don't get too many opportunities to film in quiet with 3 kids and a lively life, so Mama's having some Sunday self-care sauna time. And I just have a couple things to share since the energies have been streaming in with such high intensity. I know many of you are feeling it. And so I thought it might be helpful to hop on and share a little bit about my interpretation of what is happening across the planet and within all of us. So around February 1st, which was my daughter Mina's birthday, it was a very personal day for us because my husband's grandmother also passed that day, and we were in her home when it happened, and it was this beautiful exchange of energy of birth and death and rebirth and renewal, forgiveness and peace, and it's just so beautiful. So, humbled with gratitude. But around that day, there was a comet that passed through our atmosphere, and it's known as the Green Comet, and I believe it was the harbinger for the electromagnetic polar shift, which is officially underway. So I probably don't have the numbers totally right, but I think this is like the 72nd time in 71,000 years that we've experienced an electromagnetic polar shift. What I'm coming to understand is that the Earth's energies are actually operating on a toroidal energetic, I'm going to call sequencing, because if you Google or you look into YouTube, or DuckDuckGo, I should say, screw Google, they're the deep state. If you look up the torus, though, and you do a little research and you look at the simulations of toroidal energy, you'll understand what I mean and what that looks like. And so we are the microcosms of the macrocosm. And so the same energy system is flowing through us, emanating from our heart center and coming back into our heart center. When we live in our heart center, aligned with Christ consciousness, not Christianity. I'm not signaling out any religion here, but it's Christ consciousness. I think it's the embodiment of many prophets and their higher energetic frequencies of love, forgiveness, and compassion. When we can embody and instill those, I will say, I don't know what the right word is, but let's just say when we take that in and live and embody that truth and live in the integrity of love, forgiveness, and compassion, we also can elevate our frequencies and align with those higher frequencies that the prophets and the sages and the monks and all these wisdom keepers, like the wisdom keepers of Colombia, the earth keepers, and the monks in Tibet and all over the world. They're everywhere, and they're in every religion. The Zoroastrians, go back to the religions past the, pre-flood, 12,000 years ago. That's what I'm talking about, these super high frequencies, and they're starting to stream in, you guys. When this comet arrived, and I could be wrong, I personally am starting to believe and have come to the understanding that was definitely a catalyst, and we are going to be feeling the energies for the next 2 months or so. They're just starting to stream in, just like you throw a pebble in a pond. The ripples don't reach the shore right away. It's the same kind of thing. So the comet is going to just, start, well, let's say the ripples are going to start hitting us now, as we have also shifted directions. So we're no longer clockwise, we're now counterclockwise. So we also have to shift our energy field in order to live harmoniously with the Earth's frequencies. And I think that with this shift, a portal is opened, and I feel that this portal is inviting us to drop into our heart space and connect our hearts to our thymus, our hearts to our pituitary, our thymus to our pituitary, and our heart to our pineal gland, and our pituitary to the pineal gland, to the crown chakra, and to God consciousness. And this may not make sense, but if it does, then it's for you. And if it doesn't make sense, then it's not for you. And that's totally okay. And maybe it will be for you one day. And I'm still assimilating all the information myself. I'm just sharing what's coming to me. And the downloads are getting more frequent and more beautiful and more intense. And the heart expansiveness and the opening is happening on a level that I'm ready for, but also like don't have words for. So I think, in other words, right now, you guys, this is a time to really, really get centered from your heart space and to be receptive and open in a soft way. Maybe it feels almost like a longing. I know it does for me, because it feels like I'm returning home, feels like a coming home. And I think when you come back to your heart space, that does feel like coming home, because the home is in the heart. And the heart is that, is actually what connects us to the cosmic web, the multiverse, all multiverses, whatever even that means. I don't even know, but sacred geometry could share a little insight on that, and go ahead and look up like the flower of life, the seed of life, the dodecahedron, the Metatron's cube. There's so many examples out there, but go do some digging in the esoteric, you guys, and try and listen to frequencies of 432 hertz and above, 528 hertz, the frequency of love. So if you go on YouTube and check out some solfeggio tunes and binaural beats, and play these tones for yourself, and tap into these frequencies when you're going to sleep. Ask your higher self to connect you to your angels and your masters and your guides, and just see what starts happening. The portals, I can hardly speak. I've had a very active night. The portals are opening, and I'll do another video, I think, about like quantum leaping and how you know when you're starting to connect into the higher states of consciousness, because people are kind of starting to ask, like, which I've been asking too, how do you know when you are in 5D or 4D, or how do you know you are bouncing in and out of 3D? And when you know, you know. I mean, when it's happening, you're not asking that question anymore. And I'm finally at that point, really, since the turn of this month in the year 2023, where I now no longer ask the question. I know that it's happening. There are certain awakenings that are popping off inside of me. It's almost like watching a video inside of your own mind at sometimes, and feeling the kind of cosmic threads weave through your meridians, and blasting open certain points, and opening chakras, and aligning them effortlessly, so you don't even have to necessarily do it yourself. It's just happening, and you're just allowing it in a state of full surrender and receptivity. It feels so beautiful. It's calming. I've gone from fatigue to, I wouldn't say energized, but relaxed, with a serenity and an energized harmonic state that I just don't feel charged anymore. I don't feel aggravated, agitated. I feel like the reactivity patterning is being released. And so I invite that for all of you, because I think that we need to get out of this hyper inflated state of reactivity, which is really ego-based, you guys. And the ego is rooted in 3D, in our 3D duality reality, which is a reality of polarities, of opposition, of opposing forces. It's like the simple black and white, good and evil, dark and light, night and day. And I think anywhere you look in your 3D world, you're going to find this, we're going to call it balance of opposites. And I think that we need to get out of that balance of opposites mentality and stepping into a unity consciousness, which isn't dualistic. And when you let go of that, you actually release the ego. And when we release the ego, we can love so much more expansively. So beautiful, friends, light workers, starseeds, beautiful beings that are here to shift this consciousness. Now is the time. So connect with yourself now, connect with your higher self, and connect with the divine, because that is step one to unlocking these codes and receiving the activations and being receptive. So we'll go step by step as I'm learning myself as well. I love you. I love you all. Please just channel love. And a good way to do that is the Ho'oponopono practice of forgiveness. It's a Hawaiian practice. And honestly, it changed my life when I needed to forgive somebody who had hurt me and hadn't there wasn't an intention of hurting me, but it just happened, as happens with 3D relationships and karmically bound relationships. So when I practiced that Hawaiian art of forgiveness, and it's so simple, it's I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you, I love you, and you just hold the person in your heart and do it for yourself, for your child, for yourself now, for your mother, for your father, for your siblings, whoever you feel, for any exes, whoever has wronged you, or whoever you've had a scuffle with, or a tiff, or holding resentment or grudges. And when you can practice that, you step beyond those low frequencies and start lifting into the higher frequencies, the higher states of consciousness of love and compassion and forgiveness. And when you do that, you release yourself. And when you release yourself and you liberate yourself, you find yourself as a sovereign being of light that is connected to source energy and source love. So forgive yourselves, forgive each other. And a beautiful way to do this work is to think of a perpetrator, someone who has harmed others, and you practice this over and over again. And it's sort of like the fake it till you make it. When you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, somebody peed in your Cheerios, and you're like, this day sucks. And then all of a sudden you go out and you start smiling at people and you start giving people compliments and you start seeing beauty. And next thing you know, you're just like bluebirds on your shoulder, and it's an awesome day. So fake it till you make it. Practice Ho'oponopono. Channel more love. Try and connect the heart to the pineal gland, the pituitary gland. Connect to your crown chakra and lift out of the lower chakras right now. Try and just rise into the higher frequencies so that you are more receptive to all these light codes that are coming in. Happy activations. Stay strong. It's definitely, it can feel like you're buzzing, dizzy, feeling chaotic, confused. Just go with it. Just lean into it. Just be present and breathe through it. You can get headaches. You can feel pressure behind your eyes. Pains can come up, exhaustion, fatigue. Just be gentle with yourself. Eat clean, think pure thoughts, and just practice more love. So on that note, I will leave you, and we'll return again with something juicy as it unfolds. All right, beautiful friends. I love you. Have a beautiful day.